Good afternoon, YouTube family. South Texas Prepper here. Today's April the 28th, 2025. Guys, today what I wanted to talk about was, so I'm just getting over a really bad cold. Normally my colds, they'll start off like a cold and it'll literally, it just like ends up turning into the flu. But and it made me think of, especially right now, the way things are going, with all these events going on. I wanted to share with you how my weekend went. So I started to get sick like midweek around Tuesday. I knew I was getting sick. Went to work Wednesday, but I was trying to see if I could tough it out, and maybe it was just allergies or something like that. But went home early Wednesday. But guys, I wanted to talk about a couple of things, and I've touched on it before, but I never really made a video about this. But one thing that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about, as far as when we're stocking up for emergencies or for some kind of unforeseen event, whatever there might be. One thing that I never hear about really is stocking up on not so much over-the-counter meds, but like teas, right? Herbal teas, essential oils, and certain herbs and spices, right? Seasonings that act just like medicine. Now I'm gonna say it. It sounds funny to me every time I say this, but this is not medical advice. This is just I'm sharing what I've done, right? What I've done for myself and my family, what we take when we're feeling sick, we're not feeling well, things that have gotten us through, and these things normally keep us out of the hospital, out of the doctor, because I mean, let's be real, guys. You don't want to go to the doctor, okay? So first thing I want to talk about is the herbal teas. I keep stocked up ginger tea, green tea, different kinds of teas, chamomile. Not so much chamomile, but I do have like a box of like chamomile, one box of like, I forgot the name of it. Just different types of teas that are like not really too like popular, right? But the main ones that I keep for sure is ginger, green tea, and then there's one that is it's ginger, but it'll have like turmeric, like a mix of different teas, right? And the ginger, not only is it like good for like your lungs, like when you have a cough, it's pretty much like just good for everything. It's like it's an anti-inflammatory. It's just all around for all around health. Okay. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. A guy that I've seen that has really good advice on the teas is Dr. Mandel. He has a YouTube channel, and occasionally I do share his videos. But guys, the reason I'm sharing this once again is because right now, with the way things are going, I think it's going to be very important that we have things at home where we can take care of ourselves without having to go to the doctor, or let's say, just can't go to the doctor. Herbal teas, and the thing that I use a lot with my ginger tea, is we'll go to like the herbs, right? And the spices is I sometimes I add turmeric to my teas, cinnamon, raw honey, and another spice that goes really good when you're having like breathing problems, or like a chest cold, or maybe the flu, is thyme. Thyme and ginger mixed together is very good for your lungs. Also, olive oil. Olive oil is anti-inflammatory, and you know the ingredient that makes up olive oil, right? The active ingredient that makes it, that gives it that medicinal value or that health value, is the same ingredient that's used for ibuprofen. Um, Ibuprofen is basically, they take the ingredient from olive oil, and of course they mess with it in the lab, and they make like an artificial, natural ingredient, and so that's what ibuprofen is. I mean, you can look it up. So your spices, guys, and if I can leave a link, if I can leave something that I can show y'all, a video, I'll put in the link. But these things, over the years, I research a lot for my family, for my kids. I want them to be healthy. I keep these things stocked up in our house. Thyme, oregano, right? Oil of oregano is very powerful antiseptic. In a way, it almost smells, thyme and oregano almost smell the same. It has like a very, like a bitter, tangy aftertaste. I don't know how to explain it, but it reminds me of that taste that the old Listerine used to have. Remember how there was a yellow Listerine and the blue Listerine, and the blue one was the good one because it tasted minty, and the yellow one was a nasty tasting one because it just tasted like really like medicine. That's what oregano and thyme remind me of. It has that aftertaste, right? But that's the strength. So we keep herbal teas like ginger, like green tea, and I know there's another one that I'm forgetting. Like I'm forgetting. We keep herbal teas. We keep spices like turmeric, cinnamon, thyme, oregano, paprika. We keep those. I tried Himalayan pink salt, pepper. Pepper. Main reason we keep pepper is because it helps your body absorb the turmeric. If you take turmeric and you don't really, it helps if you put pepper, right? With I like to put it on my eggs. I'll put turmeric like in my when I make teas. Another thing before I forget is cacao powder, organic cacao powder. Cacao powder, it's a superfood. Look up the health benefits of it. It's very, very powerful antioxidant. It's good for your heart, good for blood pressure. Countless health benefits. And I mainly have daughters, guys, but I have one son. My youngest is my son, and I do keep him and myself in mind when I'm looking for superfoods, things to keep in our house for our health. Cacao powder is very important for men's health, for everybody, right? For everybody, but especially for men, for men's health, guys. It very good for us. I like to put turmeric, cinnamon, and cacao powder with some raw honey. I like to mix that a drink every once in a while. I would say I drink it every day, but I don't. I try to. I like to, but sometimes I forget. Or I'll drink, like especially right now that I'm still getting over a cold, I'll be drinking mainly ginger tea, ginger and green tea, or ginger with thyme, depending on what I'm feeling at the moment. The other thing, guys, that we keep in our home, very important, is essential oils. I have right off the top of my head, we keep tea tree oil, and that's good for fungus, right? It's good for disinfecting, right? It freshens up your home, especially if you put it in a diffuser. uh, Oregano oil, um, frankincense, eucalyptus, which is very good for your lungs, open up your airways, lemon oil, um, lavender, excuse me. What else? There's an oil in particular, guys. It's called Thieves oil. It's called Thieves oil. Um, I don't know if y'all know the story, but Thieves oil is made up of 5 essential oils. It's made up of, I believe, rosemary, cinnamon, lemon, clove oil, and I think it's eucalyptus. Let me see. Lemon, lemon oil, clove oil. Let's see. Lemon, clove oil, rosemary, eucalyptus. I'm missing one, but I'll leave the link. I can't believe I forgot. But it's made up of 5 essential oils, guys. Thieves oil is called Thieves oil because back in during the Middle Ages, during the Black Death, when the plague was going on in Europe, the plague was killing everybody, poor and rich alike. Right? Didn't matter your social status. Didn't matter if you were poor, you were rich, you were royalty, whatever. It was killing everybody, and so a lot of these people that were dying in their castles or whatever. I mean, people couldn't go in there because their bodies were. It was so. It was so. How do you say? It could spread very fast. I forgot the word. So people wouldn't go in there because it was so quick to catch, right? So now this is the story that I've heard. It was there was a thieves guild that had figured out how to make a mix of essential oils that they would put over their body, all over their body, and they would go to these where they knew rich people lived, and they knew other people didn't want to go in there because they didn't want to catch this plague. And they would go in there, and they would take all their gold, so whatever riches they had in there, they were able to go in there and not get sick, not dying. So that's why it's called Thieves oil. And there's different brands that make it. The one I get, because it's the most readily available, is I like to go to Sprouts, and it's called Now. And it's called something like it's got its own name, something like it's called something like Immune Health, something like that. But it's Thieves oil. So we keep, again, we keep these essential oils. I like to oil pull with these oils. I'll get a spoonful of coconut oil, extra virgin, organic coconut oil, and I'll put like 4 drops. My like the amount I use 4 drops of Thieves oil in coconut oil, and I'll oil pull to clean my gums, my teeth. At least 10 minutes. They say longer, but to me the sweet spot's like 10 minutes. It improves your gums. You have a toothache, it'll take it away. Infections, you feel like you're starting to get an infection. Thieves oil pulling with Thieves oil is very good. Again, I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm not a dentist. I'm just a man that has done a lot of research, talked to people. I had a good friend. I don't know what happened to her, but her name was Bonita Hanhurst. She was the one that told me about Thieves oil. What happened was I had a toe fungus on both of my big toes, and I would get like shooting pains that would wake me up in the middle of the night. on one of those toes, one of those toe fungus, right? And guys, it was so bad, so it hurt me. Like the pain was so excruciating that I literally like wish I was dead. That's how bad that pain was. I would be asleep, and imagine just somebody like stuck a needle in your toe. And at that time, she was like, like somebody like us, awake. She was what I call awake, right? She told me about Thieves oil, and I had never heard of that. And she had told me put drops of Thieves oil on a Q-tip, put it on your toes, right, on your toe, and then another Q-tip, put tea tree oil, and those two things together. And by the time you knew it, like I remember I started it, I think within a month, guys. By the time I knew it, like both of them were gone. Like my toes were like nice. You know what I mean? So I've learned through research, through other people telling me about this, about these home remedies, and they work, guys. Or else I wouldn't be telling you about them. One thing that I think I take for granted is that I've come to realize that, and I know we hear it all the time. I even tell other people, like, what you eat, if you eat good, it'll help you stay healthy, right? But I never realized how much when you eat food, right, especially food that's anti-inflammatory, right? Food that's anti-inflammatory excuse me, food that keeps your body alkaline, right? How much better your health is. I mean, it's like there's times when like I'll go through maybe like a week, 2 weeks of just eating super healthy, and I realize that, man, like aches that I have, like normal, like that I've gotten used to, aches and pains that I've gotten used to, like waking up with, or during daily, during, I'm working, and you just get used to the pain, right? I mean, that's what's happened to me sometimes, right? And then I'll realize, like, I've been, eating good or whatever, and my body feels like really good. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys, especially right now, the way things are going. Very important that y'all keep herbal teas in your pantry. Spices, right? Pink salt, turmeric, cinnamon, and I know there's two kinds of cinnamon, the Ceylon, and then the one that we see in the grocery store. The Ceylon is a lot more. By the way, cinnamon is good for like your blood pressure, and it's also good for when you have high blood sugar. That's what I heard, right? That's what I've read. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just sharing with y'all. And a lot of these foods, guys, that I'm talking about, especially for men's health, right? Guys, especially my age, y'all want to keep, your testosterone levels up. You want to keep these bad hormones out, like what do you call them? It's called a stress hormone. Cortisol. You want to keep your cortisol levels low for your health, especially right now, guys. When we're going through all this, right? We have to be healthy. We have to be ready for something happens. I can't stress that enough. Essential oils, herbal teas, herbs, all these things, guys, we need to keep them in our pantry. Another thing, Epsom salt is good for detoxing your body. Epsom salt baths. Before I forget, also elderberry syrup. I try to keep bottles deep of that stuff. especially my grandkids. We have our grandkids over a lot. My grandkids seem to freaking get sick, like, and they'll get over it or whatever, but my grandkids, they're not vaccinated. That's a personal choice. Like my daughters, that's the way we raised our kids. Our grandkids, they're not vaccinated, but we do, we know the stuff to stay healthy, stuff like that. Elderberry, we keep elderberry, stuff like that, guys. I think right now it's very important that we keep all these things in mind, to keep us healthy. And I just wanted to share that with y'all, and hopefully y'all will get something out of this. I know I don't make a lot of videos, as many as I would like, but life is just so fast. I don't know how some of these content creators do it. Like, I mean, I give y'all props, man. I give y'all props. Y'all like put that stuff, like, y'all are so consistent, and y'all come out with some good stuff, man. Like, and I'm talking about the content creators that I listen to, like, on the regular, like Prepper Now, Hudson Valley and Preparedness, just Magic Prepper, so many to name, but life's so fast, guys, and I don't put as much content out as I would like to, but I do when I feel like I want to share something. I'll put out a video, and this is one of those times. Again, with everything that's going on. By the way, I went to the groceries this weekend. Me and my son went, and I couldn't believe, guys, I know prices are going up. I know. I mean, but I'm gonna go we like to eat steak. We like to eat like sirloin steak, especially sirloin. I mean, it's delicious, but we try to eat a lot of beef, right? We don't eat as much pork as we used to. We used to eat a lot of pork, but man, right now, I don't know how much it is other places, but normally San Antonio, where I live at, the groceries are pretty, compared to other places, they're pretty good. But man, the beef is at almost $8. It's like $7.88 a pound for the sirloin. The ground beef, man, I wanna say they were all over $7 a pound. Pork is, like, I guess it's relatively affordable. It's like $3 something a pound. The pork, like the pork chops, which we love pork chops. I know they're not like really healthy for you, but we love pork chops. Chicken is still kind of, I mean, it's like $7 or $8, which is crazy to me even saying that. $7 or $8 a pound. It just kind of crept up, but we still get chicken. We still like chicken. I mean, I love chicken. But I just wanted to share that with y'all guys, the grocery stores. And also, I had been hearing about, like, some of these stores are talking about shortages, and like Walmart, that they're coming. Well, we went to a Walmart the same day that we went to the groceries on Saturday, and like, if you walk into the Walmart, like, I'm pretty sure they're pretty much the same nationwide, the setup. You walk in, sometimes the groceries, normally they're sometimes you'll see them to the left side when you walk in. Sometimes they're way at the end to the right, depending, but the one where we walked in, and then so, normally, like, the clothes, right, the men's and women's clothes is like in the middle, right, in the middle section, and the women's is normally toward the right before you get to the groceries, right? Like, if the grocery section is at the right side, guys, we went, and that toward the right of the store, that middle section was completely empty. It was just like a big space, like where normally the women's section is, or like, yeah, like the men's and women's section, which is like the little kids, was complete, like a big empty space. So the men's section was compressed into its own little, and the women's was compressed into its own little section, right? But and when I walked in, I was like, man, like it looks different, right? But as I started going to the right, when I took that, I went to the middle, which it'll take you down that aisle where the women's and the men's. Once we got past where you try on the clothes, it was completely empty. Like it was just like a big wide open space. Like I was like, what the hell's going on? But anyway, I don't know how it is on other ones, but just so y'all know that was at that Walmart, which was mind-boggling. And it had already been since like COVID. I had noticed some stores that had been kind of like little by little there were like more space, right? Like everything was kind of like rearranged to where it was all spread out. You just had more room to walk around. You know what I'm saying? But this time was like, bro, it was wide open. Like the middle of the store was empty. Like a big square. It was crazy. And I don't think, it could be that maybe they're closing it down. It's possible. But that Walmart is it services the old Brooks Air Force Base neighborhood. I think it's called Joint San Antonio Brooks, whatever. But the old Brooks Air Force Base area, they basically like built Walmart and HEBs, the grocery stores. It's all basically like stores and houses and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm gonna leave links for all this stuff I talked about. I hope y'all got something out of it. It was good talking to y'all again. Please leave your comments. Let me know what's going on in where y'all live at. What are y'all seeing? We're seeing a lot of crazy stuff all over the world. Europe just was in blackout. Some grid down. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they got the power back on or what, but like I think France, Spain, and Portugal and Italy, their power was out. So a lot of things are happening, guys. I think people have gotten used to like it's a slow burn, right? They've just like little by little things have gotten effed up slowly, and people just get used to it, and we just deal with it and we move on. But things are steadily getting worse, so we're starting to see it. But anyway, guys, y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.